Welcome to clickmyproject.com. Let we discuss about the process ROC analysis of classifiers in automatic detection of diabetic retinopathy using shape features of fundus images. Let we see the abstract of the process ROC analysis of classifiers in automatic detection of diabetic retinopathy using shape features of fundus images. Diabetic retinopathy is most commonly occurring disease nowadays. Early identification of the disease will help in preserving the eyesight of many patients. For the identification of the diseases, classifiers were used. Features were extracted from the images that were given as input to the classifiers. Features were extracted from the images based on numerous methodologies. The main aim of extracting features is to reduce the dimension of the original data. Shape based features were more efficient in the identification of diseases because in fundus images the diseases that were occurring due to diabetic retinopathy has specific intensity and difference in shapes. The classification is employed to identify whether the input image has diseases or not. Three different types of classifiers were chosen for comparison. The performance of the classifiers were measured based on performance matrices and comparisons were based on ROC analysis. The ROC analysis and the confusion matrix were chosen for the performance matrices. ROC analysis is a plot of sensitivity and specificity of the classifiers. The confusion matrices is an overall representation of the performance of the classifier. Let us see the flow diagram of the process. The input images were selected and the thresholding is applied in order to obtain the optical disc regions and the X-ray regions. The features were extracted from the images, which is based on the statistical parameters of the input detected regions like area, perimeter, like this. These features were extracted from the images. These features were selected since the extracted features were similar for all the type of same categories of images. The process is this feature extraction process is applied for some set of images in the database, and for those set of images the classification were employed. So the training of the images results in the extraction of the features from the images and providing labels for them. The identification of the diseases were employed by the use of classifiers. So here supervised classification approach is selected. In this process, three different types of classifiers were employed for the classification of the signals for the classification of the fundus images. So SVM classifier, K9 classifier and Addons classifiers were employed. So SVM classifier classifies the images based on the comparison of the features with the uh, hyperplane arrangements. KNN classifier classifies the images which is based on the identification of the differences between the pixels regions. Addaboost classification classifies the images based on the weak learners designed for each regions that were selected for the classification purposes. So thus the classification is done using three different methods, and the performances of each method is analyzed with the help of ROC analysis and the performance matrices like accuracy, sensitivity and specificity of the classifiers. Let me see the running procedure of the process. If you want to run the code, select the file main.m, which is located in the source code folder. Right click it and click on run file. The user interface will be displayed. So select any one of the input images which is present in the dataset. So the input images were selected. After the selection of the input images, thresholding is applied. So the optical disc regions were extracted from the retinal images. Then the features were extracted from the retinal images. For the feature extraction, the statistical parameters were like area, perimeter, extent, solidity, major axis length, minor axis length, equivalent diameter, eccentricity, orientation. They were all extracted from the input retinal images, and these were all displayed here. And after that, these features were classified with the help of SVM classification methodologies. So SVM classification as X-ray detected and KNN. So KNN classifies as normal image, and finally Addaboost classifies images in normal image. The overall performances of the process is measured. As we can see, the Addaboost has the highest classification rates compared to the other methodologies. So this is the performance matrices for KNN, SVM and Addaboost. The accuracy, sensitivity and specificity were obtained, and after that the ROC curves were analyzed. As we can see from the ROC curve, this is the plot of the sensitivity and specificity of the processes. So this ROC curve denotes the sensitivity and specificity plots for the three classifiers that we are using. So after the R1 R thus we have classified the fundus retinal images based on the features extracted. Thus we have analyzed the X-rayed images based on the features extracted through the statistical parameters, and the classification is employed based on three different classifiers. The classifiers classifies the fundus images, and the performances for each classifiers were analyzed and the comparisons were made. Thank you.